Hi folks. Yeah. So, you could say people have given their lives to a system. The system being church. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, to me, as soon as you go to another area, whether that's in a different country or even a different town, and you go to a church with a similar name to yours, so if you're in a Baptist church, you go to another Baptist church, if that church feels like the one you've just come from your hometown, you should have red flags jumping up all over the place for that. Your spirit should be saying, oh, this isn't good. And the reason why is because you look in nature. God created nature. God created flowers, birds, bees, everything else. They are not designed to be exactly the same. Or to have a pattern that's the same. That's not saying a bird isn't recognisable as a bird. There is this design that helps us to recognise bird, and even by skeleton, we recognise bird. But when you see its bird in its wonderfulness, and you see the way it does things, each bird is designed differently. They all have different experiences, which means the way they do things won't be exactly the same as any other bird. Because they're very, very different. They're designed differently. They have an ability to learn, and what they learn is going to be... Obviously it's limited because it's a bird. But they're not designed to be exactly the same. And so when you go into a Baptist church, when you go into an evangelical church, when you go into a Pentecostal church and you see it's basically the same. Salvation Army Church, whatever. United Reformed Church, whatever your church name is. And you feel at home, like you would in a McDonald's. It's because the idea came from the same place as the idea of making every McDonald's the same. It came from the world. It came from the devil. And when you see that the pastor is basically doing the same sort of thing, you wouldn't see the pastor doing exactly the same scripture. Exactly the same. Oh, we're going from the Gospel of John this month, and so every Baptist church will be doing that. No, they have obviously a degree of freedom to run that church, but they're trained to do things in the same way because they're trained in exactly the same system. So the problem is, if you've given your life to a system of church and a system of training the minister and a system of doing this and a system of doing that, then there you go, you've given your life to a system. Because church is a system with many different systems in it. But it's designed to work according to a system. I said that's why the way they do things in church, if you set up a new church, you have to think about a number of things. You're encouraged to by those people that are of this world. You're encouraged to do things the same as other churches, and the way they would encourage you to do that is, legally speaking, if something goes very, very, very badly wrong, if we're doing things in the same way as every other church, we are covered because it's a freak thing because we've done things the same way as every other church. If we go and do things completely differently, you could say God-led, but then something terrible happens, we're not covered. If we're stand alone, then if something bad happens, we will stand alone. Guarantee, if we're incredibly successful, all these other churches will come around us and want a bit of that and want to claim credit for some of that. But if things go wrong, we're going to be left to stand alone. That's the reality. And that's how it's going to be pushed, so that people just back down. Okay, we just do things the same as the rest. You know, do your police checks the same as the world does. Don't go checking with God and wait until God tells us. Just do a police check. That's good enough. That'll do. And, you know, do things completely according to what other churches are doing things. Same system, same way. Yeah. Yeah. Fear is... See, again, what you have to understand, faith is the opposite of fear. Therefore, fear is something that those of this world will use to control those in church. And, yeah. Because fear is faith in the negative. So fear is faith that something bad will happen. But you have faith in that thing, that's what that fear is. And, oh my God, they will use it. Oh yes, they know exactly how to use it. I say they've had hundreds of years of practice. You know, learning from the best in manipulation, and they're very, very good at it. Yeah. So I say, folks, the best thing you can do is once a year. Yeah, one good idea will be sometime around New Year's. Have, with God's help, do an MOT on your life. Spiritual MOT on your life. To understand really, according to God, where you are. And to change whatever needs to be changed. So that every new year, you start afresh. And you make sure that you are on the right path. And you do that once a year. Find other people to help you to do that. Whether that be a husband or wife, best friend. Certainly, as I said before, get people around you who are not people pleasers. Get people around you that are the opposite to that. That have no interest whatsoever in pleasing people. No interest whatsoever in just pleasing you for the sake of pleasing you. People that will be honest with you. Because the problem is, once you die, it's too late. You cannot change your destination once you reach your destination. That's the reality. You can't. You can't come back and do things differently. You can decide now to do things differently. But when you've reached your destination, that's it. So while you're alive, take the time to make sure that you are on the path that you are supposed to be on. And okay. You might be in a church where you like the people, maybe they've known you for years. So what? Is that worth you going to hell for eternity? No. But that's something you've got to get to. That understanding, then it isn't. For me, that understanding is there straight away, but individually people are going to get to and did what they needed to do. So you take care. God bless. Bye bye.